Hello and welcome to Internship Jumpstart. I'm Sara Ring. I'm the Internship and Employer Relations Specialist, and I'm going to be walking you through this training today. So our agenda for today is we're going to talk a little bit about credit versus not for credit internships, what the internship process is, how to search for internships, and then what your next steps would be. We're not going to go through that. So first of all, let's just talk about a few things that you should know about internships and why they're important. Generally speaking, almost 58% of students who had an internship received a job offer compared to only about 44% of seniors who didn't have an internship. So it makes a big difference when you're looking for a job. NACE, which is the National Association for Colleges and Employers, surveyed 2019 graduates, and of those who had an internship, 66% of the paid interns got a job offer, compared to those who were unpaid interns. Only 43% of them had a job offer when they graduated. So not just having an internship is important, but having a paid internship is especially important. And for interns, the percent of them who get a full-time job offer at the end of their internship is about 70%. So it's really important to find a quality paid internship. Now there's a question of, are you doing it for credit or not doing it for credit? If you're doing it for credit, it's probably a part of your academic requirement. It's something that's required for your major or maybe your minor. You need to connect with your faculty member. You have to register for the credit through HANDSHAKE, and we'll talk more about that later. If you're not doing it for credit and you just want the work experience, which is also a great idea, if your major does not require an internship, I'd still strongly recommend that you do an internship. But if you're not doing it for credit, you don't need to involve the school. It doesn't affect your degree requirements. Nothing is recorded for credit. You don't pay for the credit, any of that. So it's just be clear up front whether you're doing this for credit or not. And then let's talk about the process. Basically, you're driving the process in applying for an internship. And the PDF that I've got here is on THEROCK. And we can look at the full process. But basically, we've divided the document here, you can see, into what the student does and what the faculty member does. So the student goes out and looks for internships, you apply for internships. Once you get to the point where you're getting an interview, then you want to talk to your faculty member, and that would be your faculty advisor for the internships. Usually departments assign one professor to be the internship for that major, or sometimes for the whole department. So check to see which professor that is. If you're at the point, again, for an interview, that's the time to go to the faculty member and say, hey, this is the job I'm applying for. They've asked me to interview. Does this look like it would meet our department criteria? Or, does that seem like it would be a significant enough job? We don't want you just running and getting coffee for people and, cleaning up paper cups. We want you to be sure that you're doing work that's going to enhance your education. Once you've confirmed that that works, and 99% of the time it does, go ahead, do the interviews, accept the job offer, and at that point now you're going to apply to get that credit in HANDSHAKE if you're doing it for credit. So when you go into HANDSHAKE, you'll go to the Career Center section under Experiences and Request an Experience, and there's a long form that you fill out. The thing to know about that is that you have to fill it out all at one time. You can't save it and come back later. So gather up all the information that form needs in order to do that. Once you submit that form, there's an approval process that starts. Career Development looks at the form first to make sure that everything's complete. It then goes to your faculty member who approves the internship. Again, you probably already talked to them about that, so it shouldn't be a surprise. And then thirdly, it goes to the registrar's office once the faculty member approves it, and they actually enter the credit for you in your transcript, and they put it in your schedule, so to speak. So you don't have to apply for the class in Banner. That goes through this HANDSHAKE process. While you're waiting for that to be approved, keep an eye out for your email, because if we see something that's missing, you might get a question from Career Development or from internships. So make sure you're checking to see if there's any questions that arise that we need to have answered. And then you go ahead and meet the job expectations. You do the work for however many hours. Hopefully it's a job that you want to stick with and continue on. And then whatever course expectations your professor has, if you're doing a Moodle site, if you're going to a class, if you're writing a paper, doing a portfolio, meet all those expectations. And then at the end of the internship semester, if it's spring, summer, or fall, we will send out a evaluation to you and to your employer. You both get a similar one, rating yourself, and then your employer rates you on different criteria to see how well you did, so that we can then share that information with the faculty member. So that's the internship process. Again, you're going to register for that in Handshake. Go to Career Center, Experiences in Handshake, and then request an experience. That's the only step you need to do to register for that class. Again, you don't go into Banner. So if you're looking at a summer 2020 deadline for your summer internship, July 7th is the last day that you can register for a summer internship. Let's talk a little bit about how you find an internship. So when you start searching, first off, it's good to know that the average timeline from the time an employer starts looking to when they hire an intern is 8 months. So employers start looking for summer interns back last fall. So it's a long process, so allow yourself plenty of time. The first step is you're going to create your marketing materials, your resume, your cover letters. You're going to work on your LinkedIn profile and your Handshake profile. And we'll talk about those in a minute. Then you're going to go to job boards and company websites and look, and you're also going to be networking. It's important to do both of those things. So if you are looking for, how can I get my resume to look better? I mean, certainly you can always make an appointment with career coach. That's what we do. A good portion of our career coach's time is spent looking at resumes and cover letters, so we can certainly help you. If you want to get started on your own, if you look on THEROCK, we have a, down at the bottom, there's the way to get to it. It's THEROCK. You go to career development, to career coaching, and then there's a section called helpful online resources. And so this is where these can be found. There's Candid Career, which has short videos about people talking about their job. So if you're not sure what does an advertising executive do, or what does a graphic designer do, they'll tell you in short 2 to 3 minute videos what they like about their job, how they got their job, what sort of skills they need. It's a good place to kind of learn about different careers. They also have really good videos, again, short, succinct videos about how to write good cover letters, how to write good resumes. And they've got kind of some how-to videos there. Big Interview, the next one, also has some good resources around cover letters and resumes. And Big Interview gives you a chance to practice interviewing. You log on, it's single sign-on through THEROCK, and then you can say, I just want the standard interview questions. They'll give you standard interview questions. You can record yourself and your responses, and then take a look and say, oh, well, I didn't quite like how I answered that. You can even send a link to a career coach to have them review it. You can send it to a professor, anybody else. So it's a good place to practice your interviewing skills. We've also got resources on THEROCK there for resume and cover letter, how to do networking, and how to interview and negotiate the offer. So all that is on THEROCK. Now, if you want to start networking, which is a super important part of job searching that a lot of people don't think about or don't leverage as well as they could, first off, just start with, who do you know? Who are your own friends, your parents' friends, people at your church, people in organizations maybe that you volunteered with. Just reach out, let everybody know that you're looking for an internship or for a job, because people do want to help you, if you can get 20 people out looking for you, that's 20 times the opportunities that you're going to find. So mobilize your network. Look at the Northwestern alumni who are on LinkedIn. If they're in your major, if they're working at a company you're interested in, that's a great approach. Do informational interviews. If somebody's working in a field that you're interested in, contact them through LinkedIn. If you know somebody who knows somebody, ask for an introduction. Ask if you could just meet them for coffee for 20, 30 minutes and ask them about their job. Make sure that you're thinking about their convenience first. Come prepared with questions. Ask for advice. Ask for more connections that they could connect you with, and learn about the industry. And if you're making a good impression on somebody in an informational interview, if they hear about a job opening or an internship, they're likely to let you know about that. So again, networking is critical. If you look on LinkedIn, and I would encourage you strongly, if you don't have a good profile already, again, we can help you with that in career development. Also, you can go to university.linkedin.com, which is a site specifically for higher education. And there's a section that's called For Your Students, where there's all kinds of really good resources about how to build a great profile, how to brand yourself effectively, how to, good photos to have in your headshot. So all kinds of good suggestions there. So if you're starting and I don't even have a LinkedIn, that's a good place to start, is just to get good information. Also, if you go to LinkedIn and you search for University of Northwestern St. Paul, we have, actually this is a little bit old, there's over 12,000 alumni in there now. And you can search under the alumni tab. You can see at the left side there, alumni is highlighted. You can search by where they live, where do they work, what did they study, what do they do now, what kind of skills do they have, how might you be connected to other people. So it's a great place to reach out to alumni. You can click connect if you want to connect with someone, and always use the add a note option so you can connect and then explain how do you know them. I'm going to just bounce over to LinkedIn for a second to show you how that works. So if we're on LinkedIn and we go to University of Northwestern, I don't really want the alumni group. So there. So if we go to alumni, and if I say I want to find biology majors, I take it from 12,000 down to 456. If I want to say just the ones who work in Minneapolis, that drives it down to 297. And if I wanted to look at specific employers, maybe I want to look at working at Be the Match, or so you can drill down further and further. You can scroll down and see, oh, who's this person? I don't know much about them. Here's somebody who's at Cardia Inc. Maybe that's a company I'm interested in. If I want to know them, I would click on connect. I can add a note, and then I would just type, I'm a student at University of Northwestern, would love to learn more about your job, and then click send invitation. So let me jump back to our presentation. But again, a real important place to connect with alumni. If you're job hunting, it's a good place to do both. The other way to look for jobs is on job boards. We've got HANDSHAKE is a job board also, so that's a great place to start. If you're looking at businesses, there's places like Indeed, LinkedIn, internships.com. Look at the business's website. If you're looking at international, you can talk to our global programs director. If you're looking for nonprofit work, you can look at Idealist or the Minnesota Nonprofit Job Board, churches, usajobs.gov. So there's a number of different resources. Every week, our career development department under the Instagram UNW Career Development posts a weekly internship spotlight. So you'll see that picture there, the internship spotlight. Every week we look at different majors and we post a number of internships that are available in HANDSHAKE for you to see. A couple things about going through the job board to look for jobs and internships. It's a numbers game. Most of the time you will send in an application and never hear anything back. If you look at that box to the right, on average, a corporate job offer gets 250 resumes. Only 4 to 6 of those will get called for an interview, and only 1 person will get the job. So if you think about that, you're sending these online resumes into a pile of 250, at least 50% are going to get knocked out right away with scanning by their applicant tracking system, which is going to kick out a lot of them. And then again, they're going to continue to weed it down. So they're not going to respond to everybody to tell you what's happening. So just keep sending them, keep sending them, keep sending them, keep sending them. You're going to reach a critical mass. As you're sending in those resumes, make sure you're looking at the job description and putting keywords in your resume that match what they're looking for. If they're looking for somebody with CAD skills, make sure you have CAD included in ideally the top half of your resume, even in your job skills. As you're looking at a job board like Handshake or Indeed or LinkedIn, start with a general approach. If you get, I don't know, there's 1,000 jobs in that, then add more specifics. If you do your search and you get 2 opportunities, maybe make it a little broader. So broaden and narrow it as needed. Use, again, specific keywords that talk about skill sets you have. If there's if you know how to do Java, if you are familiar with using WordPress, anything specific that talks about a program or a skill or a system that you've used, that's going to be a keyword that they're probably going to include in their job description, so you're more likely to get a match. And then again, reach out to the alumni on LinkedIn who work for that organization. Generally, they are very helpful and very willing to give you a connection, to talk to you about what might be a good thing to say in the interview, what types of people they're looking for, what the environment is like. So reach out and work both. If you're going to look on the job boards, and also look on LinkedIn to connect with alumni who are already there. And again, keywords, you're looking for skills, experience, knowledge, abilities. You're trying to get through that ATS, that tracking system that they're going to use to weed out resumes. So, and even if you have something in LinkedIn in your header or in your Handshake, if you say I'm a biology student seeking an internship, when employers are looking for new employees, they'll look for people who have the word seeking in their summary or in their header. So make yourself easy to find. If you're on Handshake, get your profile completed, because employers are looking on Handshake to find students who meet the qualifications that they need. So if you have your profile on Handshake well completed, if you have your LinkedIn profile thoroughly completed, employers can find you there. So give yourself the most opportunity to find these jobs and internships. So what are your next steps? Fine-tune your resume, update your LinkedIn and Handshake profiles. Again, you're welcome to come to Career Coaches. We are available through Zoom or phone, or email things to us and we can look at them. But get that in great shape before you start your search. Do informational interviews. Reach out to people who are in that field or in that industry or companies that you want to work at. Do the application process, apply for those jobs that look interesting. Then you'll talk to your faculty advisor, make sure that you've got a job or internship opportunity that's going to meet the course and hour requirements. Secure that job, get the job offer, and then you'll apply for your credit in Handshake. Again, you can schedule a virtual appointment in Handshake, and we've got virtual walk-ins through Zoom every day, and that's in our Handshake also, and on the Rock under Career Development. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for viewing this, and we will, if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to me on email as well. Thank you.